Okay, so today we're going to talk about my performance coils and my spark plugs for the MK7. I got four performance coils that I got from ECS Coils. I also got my ER12s spark plugs. The Brisk right here. So I figured that it's time to replace the spark plugs because now that I have the stage 2 tune, I'm gonna install these ignition coils, which I got from ECS. There you go. So I got four of these. Boom. Right? Which looks pretty nice. I didn't want to get the APR because they cost a little bit more, so I went ahead and saved some money by getting these. And then, of course, my spark plugs, ER12s. So I'm gonna install these. Well, I'm gonna remove the stock ones. I'm gonna install these. So I have to gap them myself to like I believe 0.024, something like that. Okay, so these are the parts and the tools you need to install like the spark plugs. For the spark plugs, you need a gapping tool to make sure that you have the right gap for each of your spark plug. These are going to be colder than the stock spark plugs, so you want to make sure you gap them properly, right? Use this and this more accurately to do it, right? And then you can install with your torque wrench. A little over 0.024, so I gotta gap them a little bit just to make sure. So yeah, basically just get that gap between 0.024 to 0.028 and it should be good. Okay, I finally got these gapped at 0.26, which is in between 0.24 and 0.28, and which should be good enough. I'm gonna start removing these coil packs and then replace them. Right here, these ECS Performance Coils. I gotta remove these screws right here. I already took one of them out, and I'm taking this one out, and then these two as well. These are kind of stuck. I gotta take all these screws, these 4 screws out, and then I'll be able to take off these coil packs. One thing I forgot to mention when you're removing your spark plugs is you can actually also unplug your battery if you want to. It's not required, but if you just don't want any types of accidents from happening, you can unplug your battery and then continue on and removing your coils and your spark plugs. So now that I've unscrewed all these right here, I'm now ready to remove each of these coil packs. Okay, after a little bit of finessing, you can go ahead and start just pushing this up like that. So right there, yeah, all these plugs eventually just come off like that. Once they're out, then you can just start removing each one of these coils. This would have been much easier if I was able to warm up the car before doing this, but oh well. Let's see if I can still take it out. It's a little bit more work that was not necessary because now I have to try to pull this out, right? Oh, there you go. Seems like there's oil in there, so it's not a good thing. So I'm just gonna use this big old pliers to remove the coils because they're stuck, you know, and I can't just pull them out by hand. So I'm gonna try to use this and see if I could pull it out. Oop. Oh yeah, that's definitely extra work right there. As far as the coil packs are concerned, I just figured I might as well do it because yeah, I'm doing it at the same time, and my car got 80,000 miles on it, and so I figured why not replace the stock ones, because I I figured I could probably get another 20,000 or so from the stock coils, but why wait, right? I might as well replace it with performance coils, so that way I make sure that the voltage is sort of more consistent. And plus I have similar ones from my MK6 and they work well for me. So I have good experience with performance packs. We'll see how ECS does. I mean, it should be pretty similar to the APR version. Here are the stock coil packs. Stock one compared to the ECS Performance Coils, if you will. Okay, let's check out the condition of my stock spark plugs. When we look at my older spark plugs, they look pretty even from what I can tell. All of them, they look pretty even and they don't really look worn out, considering I've had them there for about, let's say, over 25,000 miles, maybe 30,000 miles. It looks like it's pretty even. The tips are still, you know, not worn out, if you could tell. So the tips are still there. That's probably why it's still running pretty good. I just didn't want to wait until something comes up. That's why I went with the colder plugs now. But as far as the stock NGKs, these, I mean, they still are pretty even too as far as the gap is concerned. For the Brisk Silver, consistently on 0.26 for each one, 0.026 that is for each one. So all these, the Brisk is 0.26, and in comparison with, so the stock ones, they are okay. So they're all 0.028. So the stock ones right here, these are 0.028, and the ones I'm going to put in are 0.026. They're pretty much the same in terms of gapping. So I mean, I can even do 0.028 on these as well, but either way, I just want to get colder plugs, you know, as opposed to the stock ones right here, because that way it'll be more efficient with the ignition, stuff like that. I don't want any like knocking, anything unexpected. So I just want to make sure that I use the recommended spark plugs for the stage 2 Stratified. Maybe I might even be able to save gas, right, with these new spark plugs, but we'll see. But definitely it's about preventing pre-detonation and all that. So now I'm ready to install my spark plugs, my new ones. So I've already gapped these, so these are ready to go. Got this set at the 30 Nm for my torque. You know, so on to the next one. Same thing. And last one right here. And that's it for the spark plugs. Now we're ready to go ahead and put back the coils in here. Again, it already has the anti-seize. Put these in. Like that, and just tighten everything up. Make sure everything is nice and secure with these down here too, right? And then now you can put the ground back in for each one, right? Make sure everything's right. Now we're ready to go. Looking nice, looking nice. I can go ahead and plug the battery again. Time to start up the car and see how it goes. Hopefully it runs good. Seems to be running all right. With the new plugs, I have it on S drive, just testing it out. I'm not pushing it. Seems to be running good. Okay. Knock is negative 1.5. Average, that is. Yeah, with the colder spark plugs, it seems to idle a little bit lower, but I've got no issues. We'll see as I drive the car more. So everything seems to be good as far as the test drive. I don't see no issues. No check engine lights. Idles much lower than stock. So till next time, drive safe and keep on rolling.